Hey, YouTubers. So, it's been a little while, and Sundays are usually my day to do like a spiritual teaching. I can't remember the last video I made. I think it was like last Tuesday, but I was really busy this week, had a long weekend, had the opportunity, and something I wanted to talk about. And I kind of talk about this a little bit on my YouTube channel anyway. Um, had the opportunity to see a lot of people in a lot of different states. 4th of July weekend. I went to Idaho, and you go to you walk into a bar in Idaho, and you see a lot of people in different states of awareness. Unconscious awareness, we unconsciously do a lot of things because we're trying to make ourselves happy, right? We think that this is going to make us happy or that's going to make us happy. But when you're ever trying to, and this is what I witnessed a lot this weekend, anybody that's trying to control the actions of somebody else to make themselves happy, generally unhappy, right? You're never going to be able to make yourself happy by trying to control the actions of somebody else. You're only trying to control yourself and keeping yourself under control when other people are out of control. So, I'm sure you guys have all witnessed different stages of that for 4th of July parties or 4th of July weekends, or maybe just crowds in general. Especially when people are pointing the finger at each other and blaming each other for the way they feel. It is what it is, right? And so sometimes we get put into situations that we're not necessarily attracting it, but I was there because I felt like I needed to be there for certain reasons. And witnessing all that and, trying to help someone ground out, like some toxicity that they were experiencing. Try not to look at people as good and bad, right? People are just holding on to toxicities or maybe old viewpoints of the way they look at other people, which just causes them to act a certain way. And it's because they feel a way about themselves that they're projecting out on their environment, which just creates toxicity. You'll see that projection happen around you when people are, a certain way. It kind of feeds on itself, right? You can watch it, and it's just conflict feeding on conflict, because people are always, if you're blaming somebody else for the way you feel, then you're constantly going to be in conflict because you can't control what somebody else is doing. So if you get upset when somebody says something or does something, usually it has something to do with a deeper trauma maybe that you need to deal with. At the same time, you should be okay with saying, hey, look, relax. This isn't my problem. Why are you, I can do what I want. This is a free world, right? It's like, I'm not harming you in any way. I'm not doing, anything. I'm just setting boundaries. You have a right to set boundaries in your own life. Yeah. So let's pull some cards maybe around that subject, right? What do the cards have to say? The place I went to was really interesting. There's a lot of people moving into that area that are permanently moving there just in RVs from other areas, probably because they have family that lives there. And it seems like the group collective are preparing for disaster in some way, shape, or form, right? They're not seeing the bigger picture. There's a healing that's happening underneath the surface. I got this deck upside down. I'm going to turn that. So yeah, we got the Queen of Swords. First thing, right? This is this aspect of ourselves that's, if we're setting strong boundaries, right, of what we are attracting, and if it's not what we want, then we cut it away. King of Swords is more of like a truth sayer. Queen of Swords is more like emotional. This is an emotional aspect. This is like, this is not what I'm not going to put up with this, right? I'm not going to put up with emotional drama. Princess of Wands is the kind of like the childlike energy of kind of creation, right? So let's see where this goes. I love the fiery energy on the way these cards are represented. These Aleister Crowley cards. Look at this Princess of Wands card really close. She's dancing in flame and creating something in flame. So we're setting boundaries. Wow. Living on our Empress and Sun energy. Doesn't get any better than that, right? Let's look at this Empress card a little closer. She's got 2 moons around her, 2 different, and a bunch of different kinds of birds, and green hair. And there's like a mountain behind her. Interesting. And the sun. 2 kids playing in the sun. We're just playing in the sun, right? Our sun energy. Ooh, those want to come out. And we've got the Emperor and change. The Emperor, the Empress, the Sun, and change. Wow. So when you're in your Emperor and Empress energy, things are going to change, right? It means that you're naturally attracting what you need, cutting away the things you don't want. You're in your Wands energy. You're speaking your truth. You're doing your thing. You're mastering your environment. This is like godlike energy here. I like this Emperor. It's all golden, right? Golden energy. Sitting with his leg up. It just popped out. Emperor, change, Empress, and the Sun. I don't think it doesn't get any better than that, right? Could end up with the Fool, but the Fool doesn't really have direction. Emperor does. Why are these coming out? I have a bunch of cards in here that... I need to fix this deck. This deck's all over the place. Okay, no more. Let's get a couple more. Valor and the Prince of Cups. Prince of Cups is holding a rose, a red rose, and flying out on an eagle. Looks like a snail shell on the front of this thing, doesn't it? Interesting. And then Valor is fire energy. This is 7 of Wands. This is taking action where you're doing what you feel is right? The right thing. Princess of Cups. Prince and Princess of Cups. This reminds me of just like a young, childlike, loving energy. People working together. And truce inverted. Is there no truce? Some of these cards were kind of, truce inverted. So maybe we're not coming to a truce with our environment yet. Maybe we're still in conflict, or just coming out of conflict, but not quite there yet. All right. What does that look like? Ruin, 10 of Swords, ending of something. And this Princess of Cups has swords. New fiery energy. Take how this resonates, right? Leave the rest behind. Magus, Magician. Death inverted. So we're on the other side of death. We're coming back from the dead with Queen of Wands energy. Let me get a couple oracle cards, and then we'll leave it at that. Take out our resonates, you guys. You know, we're it feels like the group collective's kind of going through transition with a lot of young energy coming out of death and old ways of viewing things. Maybe with some, everything's young, but there's, you know, old things are passing away. We're getting rid of ideas of being ruined. Be fearless and communication. All right? Fearless communication. I think that says it all. Just be fearless. What is there to be afraid of? What could there possibly be to be afraid of? Yeah. Love you guys. Have a wonderful day. I think it's fair to say that the Emperor and the Empress energy are pretty good energies to be in, right? Right. If you're taking action, feel like you're Lord of the realm, very loving, setting strong boundaries, doing things that are going to benefit you and, you know, the realm, because you're always thinking about the people around you and your actions, because, you know, the Emperor is trying to make things right. You don't want to make things wrong. So we'll see what I come up with tomorrow. I'll probably make a different kind of video tomorrow. There's some kind of want to talk about a lot of videos that I've seen, and a friend of mine who's actually buying a truck with a 1099A and how that's possible. I'll tell you guys what you know, if you guys aren't aware of the law and what happened in the United States in 1933. It was a follow-up of something that happened in 1923 that was against the law, against the Constitution, that became constitutional in 1933. If that makes sense. Actually, it just created a legal entity and a trust. But the way that legal entity and trust has been used since then hasn't been illegal, but it has been to hide the truth. So, love you guys. Have a wonderful day, and I'll catch you the next one.